All right, we're back with digital forensics expert Heather Mahalik. We have forensics analyst and professor emeritus at the John Jay College of Criminal Science, Dr. Larry Kobilinsky, and former FBI agent, NewsNation law and justice contributor Jennifer Coffindaffer. First, Heather, give me a straight read on your last name so I never mangle it.
It's Mahalik.
Mahalik. All right, good. You know, when you got a name like Cuomo, you would think, you know, that you care about getting people's names right, especially ethnic ones. All right, so the phone calls to the Barthélemy sister and the antagonism, and did you know what your sister was doing, and then. Coffindaffer, what does that speak to for you in terms of this suspect's disposition?
Oh, it's just reliving all over again, exercising his power. He's a sadist, and he's enjoying the pain he's inflicting even after on those relatives. Not surprising, but unique, I think, to call. Risky.
Heather, the absence of more burner phones, or do we just not know about them? Sometimes these serial killers, what we're showing you there right now were all the calls made to the family. There was an obvious lust of antagonism there, and then the calls stopped because there was a media report about them. So that also informed prosecutors at some point, or investigators, that this guy was paying attention to the coverage. But Heather, well, then what? This big period of at least a decade, do you think that they just haven't discovered the data yet, or the technology, or did he stop? Is he one of those kinds, or is there something else we don't know?
Now, this is my assumption, but I would think he didn't stop and that we have not uncovered that data yet. But with technology now and solutions, so my day job at Celebrate, we can lawfully collect data that is admissible in court in an easy way to interpret the timestamps, all of that pattern of life. So think about, as I said earlier, 2 devices. If he is using the burner phone to call someone, chances are good he has his real phone with him. You can't be 2 people at the same time. So if you timeline out when those calls were made and when he had dark periods or a period of inactivity on his real device, it can be really fruitful to the investigation.
Larry Kobilinsky, how unusual, you did the whole cat hair thing, I get it. But to find the guy's wife's hair on a body in that state of decay, and then obviously tie it to him and the whole following them to the pizzeria and getting the stuff off of them, how impressive is that, and how unusual is it?
Well, the hair is ubiquitous, as I said. However, the anatomy of the hair, there's a shaft, the long shaft, and a root at the bottom. And the root at the bottom has a lot of cellular material. Unfortunately, over time and environmental insults, the root tends to decay, disappear, decompose. So you only have the shaft of the hair left. That's the place where you find mitochondrial DNA. Now, mitochondrial DNA is something that is used to look at skeletal remains, bone, and hair. And it's an important fact that in every cell, you've got about 500 to 1,000 mitochondria. They're respiratory organelles. And inside of each mitochondria, there are several loops of DNA. So what I'm saying is there's an awful lot of mitochondrial DNA in the shaft of a hair. Now, all you need is about a centimeter length of hair to do sequencing. And we talk about the new technology. We have next generation sequencing, which makes it a more rapid analysis. And you get a hold of a mitochondrial DNA sequence, and that allows you to make comparisons between a known and an unknown. Now, of course, once Heuermann was identified as a suspect, they put him under surveillance. So they found the pizza box that he threw away into the garbage can in Midtown Manhattan. That's a source of DNA. When you swab the part that's been bitten into, you can collect DNA of both types, both the autosomal nuclear DNA as well as the mitochondrial DNA. But the only relevant DNA is the mitochondrial DNA because that's what's in the evidentiary hairs.
Right.
So you can make a comparison of the sequences. The same thing for the bottles that were found at Heuermann's home, 11 bottles that revealed the mitochondrial genotype or the genetics, which showed you that some of the hairs, the evidentiary hairs, were from his wife. Sure.
Right.
And so that's how you do the comparison.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.